go get them again.
Welcome back to the Robezoid channel. I'm your host, Mark, and on the docket today we have an unboxing first impression video on the brand of Versace, a staple men's brand. This is their OG release, Versace L'Homme. Now, obviously this has gone through some reformulations, I'm assuming. This is a mid-80s classic. It was made in the powerhouse 80s. This is the OG Versace Man fragrance. Versace, and it's funny because people do say, like, they look at me and they think I've smelled everything in the world. And honestly, these OGs from Versace, Dolce & Gabbana, even the original Calvin Klein, there is some staples in the 80s, early 90s that I really haven't delved into. And that may surprise a lot of people. I'm not a, how can I say this? I'm not a vintage whore. Like, I don't look for, you know, the original. Like, I'm not looking, when was this made? What kind of bottle presentation to get the best juice ever? I get what I get. You know, I was born in the 80s. You know, I started my real fragrance journey in the mid 90s, you know, the Boss Bottles, this Calvin Klein, you know, CKB, CK1 era, you know, stuff like Le Male, Boss Bottled, Issey Miyake, Acqua di Gio. That is my starting point. And yes, I have an open mind of going back in time. You know, there's things like Cool Water, Zeno, and Fahrenheit, among others in the 80s that I've been delving into. But yeah, there is a lot to be said that I haven't, you know, even though I'm a fragrance, you know, reviewer, I'm still open, and I'm still open to trying out fragrances from the 80s and put them on my channel. Why not? This is obviously popular enough that it's still, at least from my recollection, you can correct me if I'm wrong, a lot of you know a lot more than me in regards to the retail space. But I feel like this is still available for Versace, so it must sell well. And I'm actually really looking forward to unboxing this one and talking about it. Now, Versace as a brand, have they fallen off it? They never really made it. You got this one, of course, which has a cult status. You know, there's a lot of those people in the 80s that absolutely love this thing, so I can't wait to unbox it. But then you got your Versace Dreamer. You got your Versace Pour Homme line, which is decent, except Dylan Blue. And then they went Eros. And obviously with it, I don't know, to me personally, as a fragrance reviewer, Versace is very much lacking. A name like this, a brand like this, the possibilities of making really great looking bottles, the Medusa head, I know they do it with Eros, but you can do it better. And their look and their name, Versace, even like Dolce & Gabbana, same thing. These are brands that should be at least second tier fragrance brands. They are not. They are lacking. Like, Versace is, I know Eros is successful as far as, you know, the kids out there, the people that haven't really graduated, we'll say. Eros is garbage. Dylan Blue's garbage. A lot of that, Versace's not on a, and I do like designer fragrances, and that's where people are going to go, well, he's a niche whore. No. You know, I do like my designer fragrances. Proof's in the pudding. We got some Hermes here. We got some Zioto there. Chanel's right beside me. I do check out all the brands and all the fragrances. So I'm just stating a spade is a spade. You look at Versace's track record with a name like this, it should be better. Anyway, let's get back to L'Homme. And I'm sure this has been reformulated since the 80s, so we'll see what I get here. And again, I'm not a batch person. I'm not a, let's go on the internet and see which bottle, you know, this used to have a cap and dent. The box was yellow, not brown, not blue. I'm not into that kind of stuff. Now, if that seems like a fragrance reviewer that you like, hey, hit that subscribe button, smash the like button. Smash the like button either way, especially the ones that have been with me over the years. It's been a while since we've delved into the 80s here in a staple fragrance from a brand, so I'm looking forward to this one. Much appreciated for your support. It doesn't take you much effort to click while I'm here, you know, working hard to give you some content and hopefully helping out somebody out there, even if it's just one person that's looking into this. Hopefully I've helped you. Now let's take a look at the note breakdown of Versace L'Homme, and it is a true blue, peppered down, note breakdown, there's a lot of things going on. So if you're looking at the note breakdown, you're gonna be like, oh, what am I gonna get? You know, I got some herbs here, I got some aromatics, I got some citruses, I have some spices, some wood, some greens, you got leather, you got lavender, so you got some resins, you got vanilla. So there's a lot going on. So let's delve into it. Versace L'Homme. Now this is a Fragflex returned. It's part of that big haul. And I was kind of eyeballing this one. I was like, hey, there's a classic. And what a classic it is. So no cap on this one. Well, it looks like there's a cap. And I think, again, the vintage whores can correct me if I'm wrong, but it used to be a splash bottle. That's how old this thing is. So you used to have a cap that you'd take off and you'd splash. You'd go like, right? The usual. Now it's built in. It's like a Paco Rabanne 1 million look here, that it's actually built in the atomizer. This bottle has that classic look, so it's not really going to appease a lot of people looking at the bottle. They'll be like, oh, that's an old scent. I'm not going to touch that, right? Some of these older fragrances, maybe a bottle change may help, but it has a classic look. I even like the frosted glass on the side. I didn't even notice that. Yeah, it's not bad. It's a good look. So eau de toilette, it's an EDT. We're gonna put it on strip first, and then we'll put it on skin. This was released in what, 84, 86? I don't know. Like anybody that was in those times, there's some sites that are saying 84 and some are saying 86. I don't know. But let's delve into it. Let's smell this one. Atomizer, look at that cloud. That's a good atomizer. For built-in atomizer, it's not too bad. So let's smell this. Oh yeah. It has that classic men's fragrance from the 80s, 90s. And again, you can call this dated because that recipe can be dated. You're not gonna smell something, at least in the designer realm, you're not gonna smell anything like this. And that's where I think the charm of it comes to play, is that no one's gonna be making something like this, at least now. In the niche realm, in the indie realm, yeah. Designer, no. So what am I getting hit with? Well, off the strip here, and I'm talking about classic because it has herbal tendencies. It's got the lemon, like the Eau Sauvage Dior kind of thing. That kind of look, like lemon. There's a little bit of petit grain here. Off the top, there's a little bit of that soapy quality from that. There's some brightness here. The lemon goes, it can go either way. I think, you know, it's not a bright, vivid lemon. It feels authentic to me, but I can see that people could smell this. And with the soapiness, I think it could go a little like, it smells like a cleaner. And I could see that. But the lemon note is pretty nice to me. A little bit of basil here, so you got that green. And a little bit of cedar. There's a little bit of a woody nuance here. So yeah, it has some complexity to it. You can tell that there's complexity to it. Like it's built right. And a lot of true fragrance heads are going to know this. You know, when you delve into these older fragrances, there's a true grasp of it's built right. There is stages to this kind of fragrance game. You know, it's not just simple, straightforward stuff. There's stages, and you can tell already when I'm smelling this is that I'm not going to get just a musky backbone here in the dry down. I'm not just going to get like this stuff that's coming out these days with a fake tonka bean that's running through the veins of a fragrance, and that's what you're getting for 6 hours, and that's it. This is well built. So you have to appreciate it for what it is. Now, again, you may not like the scent profile. This is not going to be everybody's cup of tea. I can tell that already. Oh, yeah. So it's got that 80s feel to it. There's a lot of herbal tendencies here. There's OAKMOSS in here. There's sandalwood in here. You know, on the right guy, this could be classy. You know, I could see this as, I'm sure there's some people out there that wear this as their signature scent, and they have been wearing this as their signature scent since the 80s, or somebody has stumbled upon it and it is their signature. You can dress this one up, you can dress this one down. You can definitely wear a tie with this, but you can also wear like just a button-down shirt with shorts and going on the beach, depending on the right guy. I'm kind of picturing an older gentleman personally, like a guy in his 40s and 50s that's successful, and it just started enjoying his retirement, but has lots of money. This is like you know, this is good enough. Like this has been his tried and true over his 20 years of work, we'll say. And this is his signature scent. I could see that guy, like a very interesting gentleman that you'd meet at the bar and would be wearing this. Now I can go a little mothbally. There's that patchouli in there, the OAKMOSS kind of green herbal, and it has that uplifting lemon. So it could go into, you know, you could go like urinal cakes, because urinal cakes, and I don't mean the urine itself, the cake itself, right? It has that clean, and I could see people going into that area. I really like the lemon and the basil in here. Aromatic. There's a little bit of warmth coming through. I don't know if that's from the cedar. There could be, there's leather in here. I'm not getting much of that here in the opening. I'm assuming this is going to develop more into maybe a leathery green thing. I can't wait to see where it's going to go. But there's some warmth coming through. That might be the cinnamon actually. And a little bit of a floral aspect. And again, that could be the petit grain, right? The petit grain, of course, pulled from the neroli, could come into play with that soapy quality, earthy quality at the same time. And patchouli can do that. OAKMOSS can do that at the same time. It has that barber shop-like feel, so there is a little bit of that. It has that classic feel to it. Not my first, you know, not my first, like if I smelt this in the whole Versace line, you know what? No, Versace Pour Homme Oud would probably be one of my first choices. Dreamer's in there. What else is from Versace? I got it right down here. You got that Eros line, that's garbage. Oh yeah, Versace Man. Versace in the purple bottle. Love that one. Those are more my speed. This is one of those that, as a fragrance enthusiast, someone that really loves fragrances, love researching fragrances, loves looking at the history of it and all that. This is a well-built perfume. It's classic. I can see why it's still in stores today, and you could correct me if I'm wrong, but I see it around. It's very classic. And I love going back to these old scents. Like I relish that. Like if I had a Frag Flex haul that had like, what's the other one? Dolce Gabbana Masculine, that one. I haven't smelt that one. You know, starter fragrances from those brands. I'd be more, like I'm more excited about that than smelling the next Eros. It really has that, yeah, that original DNA. So it's still a well-built perfume. I don't know how many reformulations. I know a lot of you might know that, but this current, you know, the brown box one is still good to this day. At least, you know, I haven't smelt the older stuff, but I feel like this is pretty good. Yeah. So it would be, honestly, it would probably make, this might crack if I made a Versace top 5 fragrance for men all-time list, this has a running chance of making that list. And then I'm thinking about Versace Man, Versace Dreamer, Versace Pour Homme Oud edition, Oud Noir, Versace Pour Homme. So it's in that context. Oh, it would be close. It'd be in the, and again, this is just my first impression, but I feel like this is going to develop. It's going to have a back end to it. I want to see if the OAKMOSS leather, vanilla are going to come through. I'm getting a little bit of that cinnamon now. A little bit of that sweet, it's not a big, bold, spicy cinnamon. It's more like a sweet cinnamon here. Yeah. So I got this one at fragflex.com, as you know. This is a cheapie now, like at least at discounters. This is like a throw-in bottle. This is one of those that you do a haul, you know, you buy 5-6 niche fragrances. Your total is at $960. And you'll get free shipping if you spend an extra $40 and you throw this in. It's one of those. Anyway, Versace L'Homme, you can find at fragflex.com, and you can use my code TFG10, get 10% off on the fragrance if you wish to do so. It is a site-wide code, so you can use it on anything else. But yeah, happy to finally have this experience of sniffing out a classic release. It's always good to beef up the Rolodex. Now I can say that I've smelt this fragrance and give my thoughts if anybody's asking about that. And that's what this is all about, this channel. And of course, to help out. Now that someone's going to ask me about this, I got you. I can tell you a little bit about it. Now that you've heard my take, I'd love to see yours in the comments below. Good, bad, and the ugly. Again, this is an oldie. It's a classic. It's a polarizing fragrance because it has that classic vibe. So there is going to be some people on one side of the coin that's going to say, no, this smells like urinal cakes. This smells not very good. It's old. It's dated. You're going to have that group. And then you're going to have the group that this is a classic. It's a men's masculine. It is or a man's fragrance. I hear you. And maybe there's going to be some people in the middle. I'm kind of in the, I'm more into the like of this. Like, I'll wear this once in a while. I don't think this can be my signature scent. It's not up my speed personally, but as a lover of fragrances, I can see this stuff's well built. And I may like wearing this from time to time. So I'm looking forward to the comments because these kind of classics, there's always two sides of the coin. I know that for sure. As always, a great pour fragrance will make a lasting impression. Choose your Versace release wisely. Thanks for watching, YouTube.